European Commission chiefs want to force the UK to remain bound to EU trade agreements after Brexit, but without any guarantees the bloc's partners will reciprocate access for British exports. Insiders say the EU plans to bully Britain by ensuring Europe and Europe's trading partners have unfettered access to UK markets while potentially denying or restricting access for British exports with tariffs. The position presents potential issue for UK-based companies, such as Jaguar Land Rover, whose exports are required to have 55% made in EU content in order to qualify for low-tariff deals under the EU-South Korea Free Trade Agreement (FTA). The plans are said to have been put forward by the European Commission after rejecting ideas from the EU's own Trade Directorate. The Commission's approach also risks negatively impacting European businesses who export products with UK content. A UK source with knowledge of the negotiations blasted the Commission's approach as typically legalistic. British negotiators have argued it would be a form of cackism for the EU to bar the UK from signing new trade deals during the transition period, while not enforcing the existing trade deals in both directions. Under UK's proposed plans, all three parties to the FTAs, the EU, the UK and the third country partners, would make a clear agreement that the underlying treaty continued to apply to the UK during the implementation period. Get it? The European Commission is considering forcing the UK to abide by its laws without reciprocation. Negotiators from the UK and EU are expected to meet in Brussels this week for crunch talks on how Britain can still benefit from free trade deals after Brexit during the planned transition period. However, experts have suggested that EU trade partners will want to continue reciprocal access with the UK, but they warn it could come at a price. Sam Lowe, an international trade expert with the Centre for European Reform think tank, told The Telegraph, in the end, most FTA partners will continue to grant preferential treatment to UK exports throughout the transition, but we might need to buy some of them off. This is the period of maximum leverage vis-a-vis the UK, so it would be negligent for them not to at least try and get guaranteed concessions to come into effect once the arrangement has been replaced post-transition. From the UK, Tuesday, July 25, 2017. British Secretary of State for International Trade Liam Fox delivers remarks on the future of UK trade policy at the American Enterprise Institute. Trade insiders have reported that several countries, including South Korea and South Africa, have already indicated they will press for concessions when signing bilateral deals with the UK after 2020. The news comes after Theresa May used a keynote speech at Mansion House last Friday to issue a stern message to the EU, demanding the bloc needs to listen to the hard facts and understand Britain will not accept a trade deal similar to Norway or Canada. She said, the Commission has suggested that the only option available to the UK is an off-the-shelf model, but at the same time, they have also said that in certain areas, none of the EU's third country agreements would be appropriate, and the European Council's guidelines aspire to a balanced, ambitious and wide-ranging deal with common rules in a number of areas to ensure fair and open competition. This will not be delivered by Canada-style deal, which would not give them the breadth or depth of market access that they want. Getty, under the proposal, EU's trade partners would not be required to reciprocate access to UK exports, may also hit back at the EU's calls for Britain to not cherry-pick at a Brexit deal. She said, the fact is that every free trade agreement has varying market access depending on the respective interests of the countries involved. If this is cherry-picking, then every trade arrangement is cherry-picking.